This is a short video to explain how to enter reseeding details on PastureBase. There are two ways to enter reseeding on PastureBase. There's a recommended method for entering reseeding if you are doing the reseeding now, and there is also a method for entering details of a reseeding that was done historically, perhaps last year or the year before. So firstly, we will talk about a reseeding event that we are doing now. We recommend that you do this through entering a cover and set the details of the reseeding that way. So you can see here we have a PastureBase farm open. Their account is open here on the screen. So we will click the button on the left to enter a cover, grass cover wedge. We'll add new grass cover, click the green button. We'll pick a date for the grass cover, so we're going to pick the 20th of May. And continue. That will bring us into the list of paddocks for this farm. We can see the previous cover was taken on the 14th of May. So we're going to put details in for the cover on the 20th of May. We're going to start entering covers. Just for the purpose of the example, we'll add a small amount to all of the previous covers. The paddock that we are going to reseed is this paddock, C2. So it's important on this cover, we leave the cover blocks blank, don't enter any figure there. And on this drop-down menu, under paddock status, we click the drop-down and we pick the reseed option there. So the paddock is now set for reseeding. We will enter further details about the reseeding at a future date, but that's all the details we enter for the moment. So we just continue now and enter the rest of the covers for the other paddocks. So that's covers entered for all our paddocks. The remainder of the paddocks are set for silage cut later, so we will choose not to enter covers for them. So now we will proceed and click the button Save and Move to Livestock. We will assume for the ease of the example that the livestock details in this farm are the same as per the previous cover. So we click Save and Move to Wedge. And now we have our grass wedge, and there are two important details for us to check here. We can see that paddock C2 is not on the grass wedge because it has now been set for reseeding, and it will remain off the grass wedge until new grass grows and we set it back for grass. Also, if we scroll down on this page where we get the large table, we can see all these paddocks coded green are in grass. Then we have a range of paddocks coded yellow, set for silage cut later. And then at the bottom of the list, we have our one paddock, paddock C2, Canal 2, coded pink as it's been set for reseeding. Now that's the first part of the reseeding event recorded. So now we will assume that some time has elapsed and the grass has grown in the new paddock that's being reseeded, and we want to set it back to grass. So again, we go in to enter a new cover, grass cover wedge, add new grass cover. Just for the purpose of the example, we're going to pick the date, the 1st of June. In reality, the grass wouldn't have grown that quickly. Continue. And again, we go and enter the figures for covers, again, just increasing them a small amount from previous covers. Now we come to paddock C2, the paddock that we've set for reseeding. So we'll assume the grass is now grown, so we're going to put on a cover, a low cover, and we're going to set it back to grass. At this point, when we set it back to grass, it will prompt us to know the date that the paddock was reseeded. So we'll assume we reseeded it on the date that we set it for reseeding, which was the 20th of May, and continue. So we can see now that the paddock was reseeded. It's now been set back to grass with a cover of 200, and the reseed date has been saved as the 20th of May. So now continue on and enter the remainder of the covers. That's all our covers entered, just not putting covers on for the paddocks that we've set closed for silage. So we click Save and move to livestock. And again, we will assume our livestock details are the same as before, and we click Save and move to wedge. Now we can see that paddock C2 is at the very right here. It's back on the grass wedge with its cover. And when we roll down to check the table underneath the wedge, we can see it here. Paddock C2, canal 2 is now set back for grass. And the little blue box there to the right indicates that it's being reseeded. So now if you would like to enter some more details about the reseeding, you click this button Reseed Event on the black menu on the left. And here we see a list of our paddocks, and the one we want to enter more details on is C2, the paddock we reseeded. We see it has recorded the date, the 20th of May. So we have the option here to click the Edit button. And when we click the drop down under Reseed Method, we can choose which method we used to prepare for the reseeding. So in this case, we will pick one pass and save. And we can see there that's being saved. We can also add the variety, details of the grass variety that we used for the reseeding. To do this, we click on Variety and click Add New Variety. And variety type, we're going to pick a grass mixture with a few different types of grass and one type of clover. So this is how we will do that. On the variety type, we pick grass. On the over to the right, then we have to pick which variety of grass. So the first one we will pick is Abergain, and 12 kilos per hectare is the amount of that. Click Save. Then we add the second variety we used. Again, it's a grass. And this time it's Aber Choice, and also 12 kilos per hectare of that. A third grass variety. Aston Energy is the one we're going to use this time. And again, 12 kilos per hectare. And lastly, in this grass mix, we had some clover. And the variety of clover was Clover Iona. And we had 3 kilos per hectare of that. So there we can see the details for paddock C2, reseeded on the 20th of May. We have that mix of reseeding used. So that's the full details of our reseeding event recorded for a reseeding event that we are doing now. So the new grass is grown and the paddock is set to grass, and we've recorded all the details. There is also the option to record details of a historical reseeding. For example, if you reseeded a paddock last year or the year before and you want to have details on PastureBase. To do this, you click the Reseed event from the back menu as so. And the list of paddocks will come up. And again, the same as previously, you click the edit button to choose the method of reseeding, and you also have the option to add the variety if you wish. So from there on, it's the exact same as previously. So that's how you do a reseeding event on PastureBase. Farmers may also be interested to look at some of the reports after reseeding. Down here on the left, you can get reports on annual tonnage for paddocks. Farmers may want to look if the annual tonnage yield of the paddock has improved since the reseeding, and also if different paddocks were reseeded and different grass varieties were used. If the yields are different for different paddocks, they may like to compare.